Hey guys, it's HITTHEPANDA here with CardRunners.com, and today I'm bringing you part 2 of my Sunday 635 win on Full Tilt Poker. So, this is the final table, and we are going to go ahead and just jump right back in and watch a bunch of pots. As you can see at the bottom here, we play a lot of them, and we win a lot of them, so find out how that happened. Okay. Ilya opens the cutoff. I guess we'll just, real quick, looking at these players. We got Creator, who we were talking about earlier in the past video, who now has 13 big blinds, and not going to have to worry about him and his aggressive tactics at this point. We have Chester 21, who I think has been a reg for a while, solid. And we have Invisible Enigma, who is I'm a luck sack, very good player, very smart individual. Pretty good at Dota, on top of that. And then we have BTech86, who's sick, nasty. Very good player, high stakes, nosebleed, bleed, high PLO, sicko, ridiculously awesome. Ilya is also a really good regular, feeling they're Russian, but Luke the Fluke, already talked about him, he's good. I don't recognize these players, so whatever. Onto the hand. Ilya, definitely opening quite wide here, and I expect him to view my big blind 3-betting range is a little bit tighter because I like to peel quite a bit, so I decided to throw this in my 3-bet range at this point. Sometimes I would just peel it, of course, but whatever. We get a really awesome flop, and I decided to just check here. It's a spot where I definitely would check a decent amount of hands, like if I had 5-4 suited, probably just give up here and whatever. So I think this is a good hand to have in my check call range, and probably not check calling, or like I might check call the flop, check jam some turns possibly, or just check call again. We'll see. And I could decide to bet it as well. Like, I think doing both in this situation is kind of cool because I have a lot of fold equity to fold out a lot of ace-x, like ace-10 and better queens, so that is something to think about, but it's also okay to check and have him bluff sometimes as well. And of course, if he has an ace, he might bet it and give us and continue bluffing or something if a heart comes, whatever. So 10 comes on the turn, still no real reason to bet it, so I check again. And it's kind of an interesting card, gives us a flush, which is nice. And it also changes the board a decent bit, where Jack now is a straight. So the question is to bet or check, and I think at this point, if I were to bet, I should probably overbet. No, I don't necessarily think that's true. I guess either overbet or bet very small and hope for like an induced re-raise. So I can overbet and kind of represent like pocket kings or, a slow play like aces or queens or some kind of 10x, king 10, something like that. Which obviously I would be able to bluff with a hand like this or some random air type hand myself occasionally to balance that. Or I could bet really small and balance that with just random occasional bluffs with, my 5-4 suiteds or whatever that happen to play out this way. And expecting him to fold if he has, any kind of just king-queen type hand or pocket pair below the board or connectors himself. Even 10x probably has to fold, so I think that's okay. We'll see what I did here. I just had to check, and I probably got owned real hard. No, I didn't get owned that bad. It actually turned out to be the best decision because he's obviously not going to call. So I just had to check, which I think is okay too, going for the check raise. In this spot like this, like checking to check raise is pretty sweet when like he's pretty much forced to bet his jacks, and it's pretty tough to get value from worse than jack on this board when, it's just really like even if I bet small, like I guess I can start getting value from a 10, but it's kind of even unlikely at that point. Like even if I bet like a third pot, he might just. I guess it's kind of hard for him to fold to 10, but like it's not like I'm getting a ton more value from that 10x range if I start betting small, and then he can kind of just never raise a jack and own me pretty hard there. Whereas if he has a jack, he's always going to bet and probably bet maybe bigger than I would have bet myself. And then he might sometimes call check raise, and that's huge for us. And then all of a sudden, it gives us more hands that we can protect a possible bluff check raise in this spot as well. Like, it's always nice to be able to just check raise rivers after checking 3 streets in a row. It's pretty cool. So I do like the check, and I think it's okay to bet and have some bets there too, depending on what you view of your opponent and how likely they are to bluff.